this post, I want to talk a little bit about how we can utilize SharePoint to really help us kind of create unified views of records. So often we run into scenarios where basically what's happening is we have lots of different pieces of information, maybe stored in lots of different areas, and those different pieces of information are tied to a particular subject. It could be maybe the business unit creating it, it could be the organization it's for, it could be the topic that it's about, it could be a lot of different things. And one of the things that SharePoint really gives us an opportunity to do is create kind of this unified view. And I'm not just talking about like using a content query web part and rolling up all project documents to one area, but actually taking it a little bit further and creating kind of this unified view that a lot of times is pulling in a lot of different information, but kind of centering it around one particular topic. So right here you see kind of a simple example of this where we're looking at our Apple page, and what you'll see is this is actually pulling in announcements, project documents, and links, all tagged with the metadata client equals Apple. So this is a very typical thing that we like to do, and something that's very usable for your users, because a lot of times what ends up happening from an information management standpoint is when we want to segregate all this content out, we will tend to create multiple sites or multiple libraries and multiple lists. Well, one of the really great things that you can do with SharePoint is maybe have more of a centralized storage of that information, and then use the page structure, use metadata in that to pull out things to show people a unified view. So where this is a very simple example around Apple, you could think of this around a project, maybe showing all the latest projects, not only status, but updated documents, all those different kinds of things in that, but showing it as a unified view that it's around a particular topic and not just a cluster of information that maybe comes from multiple sources. But overall, I know now when I've hit the Apple page that I actually have all these different topics that have to deal with Apple, and it's all coming from a central repository, so I could very easily not only have Apple, but I could have another client, and I could have a lot of different areas. But overall, it's just about creating that unified view, so when I'm looking at a project view or I'm looking at a topic view or something, I'm seeing all this disparate information, and it's making sense to me how it's all tied together.